Bemi de kaintin is gan cúpla nómad faoi muo agus Corcaigh. This is a great night here to be in Croke Park. Good football on the field and a great, great cause behind it all. Alan Cairns and his charity and the sponsorship he does of things out in Africa. That's why everybody that came tonight are delighted the way it's going. So I think for the record, we should list the names of all players and the mentors taking part tonight. Seeing that Cork won the first match, thus no Midla Cork. Sean O'Go-Halpy, everybody knows where he's from. A.P. McCoy, the famous jockey. Kieran Donaghy of Kerry, doesn't matter where they came from, they're Cork people tonight. Chanel McCoy, she's here to keep an eye on AP. And then Dean Rock, he has scored more points from frees in Croke Park than any player before. Next to Dean Rock, again on the Cork team, Seamus Hickey, a hurler from Limerick. Frank Brazil, or Brazel, and Nassan Brazel. They're here, Cork people for the night. That's their privilege to be called Cork people for one night. The next is Felix Brazel. That's 3 Brazils on the Cork team. And then we come on to, it's a Mayo name, but it's a Cork player tonight, Paul Mokler, or as they used to say in Mayo long ago, Paddy Moclay. Next on the Cork team we have Ray O'Donovan. Brian O'Regan is there. Brian Stapleton, he was first out in the pitch tonight. And then followed by Geraldine Flannery, a very good player. You should come and see her sometime playing. Then we have Owen Verling. Owen Verling. Still more Cork men to come. Paul Collins is one of them. Nicola McGrain is another. Mark Garrett. And how about Johnny O'Connor? And then we're on to 2 Seans. Sean Hennessy, Sean Murphy. And then that great hurler from Kilkenny, DJ Carey. Paddy McKeever, Paul Graney and Stephen Hatchett. Now they're all players, and at some stage they're all taking part in what you'll see of the match tonight. So well done to all of them for being here and for taking part. The backroom team, DJ Carey, he'll be on the field for a while. He'll be directing from the sideline. He's a Cork backroom team member as well. Peter Sylvester, another good man on the line to see how things are going right and where they're going wrong. With him as well, Ian Reeves, and then Jerry Duffy. That's the end of the Cork mentors. You have all the Cork players, and we'll move on to Mayo. Mayo, they won their first All-Ireland in Croke Park in 1936, their second in 1950, the third in 1951. They've been trying to add the fourth since then, they haven't succeeded. I think that Mayo, I'm letting you know in plenty time, Mayo are going to win the All-Ireland of 2019. The Mayo players that will be in action here, they're in action right now. Getting a little bit dark, but they don't mind that. This is the semi-final. The winners of this will go against Cork in the final. It could be 2 Cork teams in the final, you wouldn't know. We'll begin with them. David Gillick, that's a Meath name, but he's a Mayo person tonight. Brian Fenton, the best midfielder to appear on the Gaelic scene in about 15 to 20 years. He's a Dublin man. He's a Mayo man tonight or this evening. Cora Stott, there recently she won her 19th Mayo County Championship in ladies football for the 19th time, all in succession, no break. Isn't that some record? Currently an Australian rules footballer out there in Australia and creating headlines every time she goes on the field. Great Mayo player by her side, Aidan O'Shea, and then Jason Doherty. They're all names well known, and thrown in the middle of them, the great Richie Hogan, stylish hurler, can play a bit of football as well, a good manager. He's a Kilkenny man. He's playing football for Mayo tonight, but he's done a lot for hurling in Dublin the few years he was teaching here. Liam Hines, another honorary Mayo. Cathal Hughes. How about Nick Gallagher and Conor Carroll? They'll be out around the centre. Niall McCurry is another. Adrian Barry, that's very much a Cork name, but it's a Mayo name tonight, and the allegiance and the effort will go to Mayo. The game that's going on at the moment, Mayo have a goal, Cork have a point. It's rather timid. They want a strong start and they want something left for the next match in case they win the semi-final and be in the final. I'm not quite sure where I stopped. I think I had Adrian Barry. Was there another Barry before this? No. So we'll continue from Adrian Barry. Ger Kelly is there. Adrian Doherty, a good name in Mayo. Ian Dempsey. People know why he can play football. John Lydon. Damien McKee. Excitement near us here now. They're beginning to put the shoulder into it now, and it's still Mayo goal ahead, or 2 points ahead, a goal to a point. We were down as far as McGee, and we're now on to Owen Phillips, Philip Marks. 5 more Mayo players to go on the list, a long list, and they're all out in the field at some stage in this match. Owen Mangan. That's a main West of Ireland name. Eamon Dalton. 3 to go. Mark Henry, Ronan Kennedy, and David Herity, a Kilkenny All-Ireland winning goalkeeper for Kilkenny. He's now in charge of strategies and things like that down in Kildare. I take it in the hurling world, but we have hurlers and footballers from many counties in Ireland that are Mayo men just for this night, Alan Kearns' night, the 2018 Croke Park Charity Challenge. Tuesday, October the 23rd, 2018. Lovely picture of Dublin players running onto the field on All-Ireland final day in a lovely match programme. We have to look at the backroom team for Mayo. Where would you find better than John O'Mahony, a man that won an All-Ireland under 21 here in this very pitch with Mayo a few years ago, and then managed Galway to win 2 All-Irelands. He was with Mayo. He's done a lot wherever he was. He's a member of the Irish. Is he in the Senate at the moment? He was a TD. He could be in the Senate at the moment. He's on the sideline tonight, watching and guiding Mayo. Tommy Gallagher is assisting him, Eamon Murphy as well, and then 2 left among the backroom team for Mayo, Conor Flynn and Eugene Dalton. The result in the end doesn't matter. The spirit in which the thing is played, that's the whole thing, and how Alan Kearns for this charity is support all over Ireland, and sometime we might give a trip out to Africa to see really the miracles that have been created out there on account of events like this tonight. And who'll ever forget the great idea a few years ago of Alan and a few others, no doubt. He wanted to see the Sam Maguire Cup taken to the top of the highest mountain in Ireland, Corán Tuathail, but he also wanted an All-Ireland medal of any sort, minor, under 21, junior, senior, club, college, county, anything at all, men and women all together, an All-Ireland medal of some sort from every county to be brought to the top of Corán Tuathail. I was there the same day, a wonderful day, a very, very fine day, and a medal from every county did reach the top of Corán Tuathail that day, and I believe it raised over €100,000 for what we're speaking about, what we're all about tonight, the charity challenges. That was a challenge that was enjoyed by everybody. Scoreboard hasn't changed a whole lot. Mayo have added 2 points. They're now goal and 2 points. Cork no score, and that's the way it is. It's being played in Croke Park, the most famous pitch in many ways in Europe. It's a long, long history. Now we've few things in danger of flying away with the wind, but I'm sure if they win, they'll land and they'll stay somewhere and we'll get them. Now, this place, we're in Croke Park, going way, way back. It was known as Butterley's Field. Maybe even before the GA was founded, it was here. And it was open to sport of all types. Later on it must have been taken over. It was known as the City and Suburban Field. That lasted a good few years as well. And then later on, when the GA bought it, was known for a good while as Jones's Road. Jones's Road is the road that runs alongside it, and good attack going here. We could see a goal down here, but not when you have a goal. You have a very high standard in the goal for Mayo. Few fouls committed on him at the moment, but he still managed to get the ball away. And then sometime around 1912 or 13, when the GA purchased the ground, it belonged to themselves. From then on, it became known as Croke Park, and that's the way it is ever since. We'll have another few bits of information later on as this match goes on. The winners will play Cork in the final here of the 2018 Croke Park Charity Challenge. Páirc Croke Yoscail agus is smócla himataim around Harna Blian. Hurling and football. And believe it or not, I saw horses racing around this field once upon a time. Might have been in the 50s. There was a huge pageant here, and it involves horses. And where the players run out now onto the pitch, I remember a posse of horses coming out, and nobody was too worried whether the ground was cut up or not in those days. It was quickly repaired anyway. And there was a time the way for cutting the grass here in Croke Park was to graze it with ponies, and it worked. And the groundsman, he was known as Chicky Curran. He kept chickens. He used to have a lot of hens here, out in the open, plenty of fresh air, plenty of good grass, loads of eggs that he used to sell around Drumcondon, Ballybock, and the places adjacent to Croke Park or Jones's Road or whatever name it had at the time. These players are certainly eagle, and I've seen the best pass tonight sent in, well held inside. We might see a goal now. I haven't a clue who it is. Numbers were scarce when I went out to the dressing room, but again the Mayo defence is solid. Cork have scored only 1 point. Managers watching this move develop now. Way out to the line there. I'm waiting to see a goal in this match. The first goal was scored there early on. I told you Enda Kenny is the manager of the Mayo team. Enda Kenny. His father was a famous footballer, recognised all over the country as such. He was there when they won 6 national leagues in a row, opted out of number 7 and won number 8 and won an All-Ireland in between. That was the Mayo of the 1930s, and Henry Kenny was there. And I don't know about Enda Kenny, would he match all that? You never know. If he got the chance, he might have. I see plenty of attacking, but very few scores. That's one. It's a point. Scored by a player. He wishes to remain anonymous. He has his own reasons for that. Manager of the Cork team is Micheál Martin, or Michael Martin. Micheál Martin. He comes from Cork, Nemo Rangers man. That means he's interested in hurling and football. His son played for Cork, played football for Cork, and I might be wrong, but I have an idea that comes somewhere from the back of my head at the moment, that the family, his father, was very, very interested in boxing and expert at that sport, as was Micheál Martin in his younger days. A break for the players now. We'll all take a break. As the time goes on, we've been joined by other players anxious to take part, and they're already being accommodated out there in the field. We'll begin with more Cork people. Conor McManus, all the way from Monaghan to Cork for the night. Anna Geary, Jackie Hurley, great names. Conor Moore, Sonia O'Sullivan. She gave her first kick ever of a football tonight, and what a place to do it in. Cork Park. Brendan Griffin is here. Tomas O'Shea, Rob Heffernan, all with the brand of Cork. Alan Smullen, Barry Downey, Micheál Madden, Christopher Madden, Dan Doohan, Jerry Mahal, Philip O'Neill, Richard O'Hanlon, Sophie Burns, Leonard Dolan, Darren Clark, Ty Coleman and Joe Ennis. They're the additional Cork players that turned up, all getting some part in some game. The added players in the Mayo list, a long list. How about Philip or Philly McMahon, that great Dublin player? Joanne Cantwell, Ivani Chillen, Darren O'Sullivan from different counties. Rory Stories. He was out on the pitch for a while tonight already. Covered a lot of ground as well. He's so big and so heavy that he could even damage the ground. Michael Dara McCall, great basketball player, superb player with Dublin. I think he has 5 All-Ireland medals and going for the 5th in a row. What an achievement if they do it. They're favourites to do it. We'll have to wait till next September. Paul Mangan is Mayo for the night. So is Ronan Conlon, Barry Conway, Dermot Gunnan, Peter Hughes, Tom Linsky, Peter Scully, Mark Lowry, John Regan, Tyre Kilcommons, Tommy Conroy, Owen Sheehan, Darren Gallagher, Stephen Joyce, all great names with 3 to go. Pádraig Gilligan, Alan Coyle and Kieran Hastings. There's a lot of names. The lights now are flickering and reaching their full potential. These players, they can play in the dark almost. Looking at the score on this stage, the second game, the second semi-final, Mayo look as if they're on the way. They're on the way to the final against Cork. They've scored a goal in 4 points at this point against 3 points for Cork. We'll see the men and the women playing the one teams there. When everything is finished in the match, that all will gather for a night's entertainment upstairs. Where else could you be but in Croke Park? And the pitch looks as if it wasn't walked on in weeks and weeks. Incredibly. Now we're on our, since I came here this evening now, we're on our second game. 2 more to go, the Shield final and the final proper. But already today, 17 Dublin County finals in the primary school section. 17 games have been played today. Yesterday, 18 primary schools, hurling and football, all played in Croke Park. 3 games at a time, right across the pitches they play. That's the length for people under 12 years of age, which should be roughly the age that people leave the primary school to go on. And it's a great source of pride to all the schools and all the children that will get to play in Croke Park, because the ball goes wide on the right hand side of the field. It used to be the Canal goal, it's now the Davin goal, and Morris Davin was the first president of the GAA. Himself and Cusick, they were the leading pair of the 7 that came to Thurles, Hayes' Hotel in Thurles, 1st of November, did I hear a whistle, 1st of November 1884 to set up the GAA. 7 that were there, and believe it or not, there was a rugby international of the time. The rugby union had been founded a few years before that, and one of them, St. John Charles McCarthy was his name. He was a member of the RIC. He was a member of the Irish rugby team, but he was in Hayes' Hotel when that vote was taken to start the Gaelic Athletic Association, Common Lou Clascoil. The highest kick I've ever seen in Croke Park has eventually gone high in the air, went over the bar, the flag is raised. That was a real point. Down in Kerry, they used to call it long ago a Castle Island point. Took a half a day to come back down. Less than a minute to go in the second semi-final. The 2018 Croke Park Charity Challenge. Mayo leading Cork at the moment by 4 points. Looks as if they'll hold out. 30 seconds to go to take a miracle from Cork to qualify for the final. The other Cork team already in the final. We'll see a final between Cork and Mayo. Mayo are through to the final. Mayo are through to the final, the 2018 Croke Park Charity Challenge. Mayo will play Cork in the final. Before that we'll have the plate final, or the shield final. It could be called any one of several names.